Hi, it's Mike with AskTractorMike.com. Someone asked me the other day, what was the very first video you ever did? Well, the first YouTube video was 2012, but the very first video I ever did was in 1996, and I'm going to show it today. In 1996, my wife and I lived in Springfield, Missouri, in town, and our kids were in kindergarten. Now, I grew up on a family farm that was an apple orchard, and we were helping with harvest in 1996. And we had just bought a big old camera. We thought it was great at that time, but a video camera about the size of an accordion. And we took it down to the farm and did a little mini documentary for our twin daughters' kindergarten class. And in 1996, they were in kindergarten, and we did a little documentary for the kids. And I'm going to show it today. Now, my wife and I are kind of talking in baby talk to the kids, and the film is a little grainy, but you'll get to see what apple production looked like and what I looked like in 1996. Now, if you enjoy fruit production and vegetable production and stuff like that, I'm going to tell you about Farmer Dre's channel at the end of this video. You ought to check it out. It's a local guy doing a YouTube channel showing the same things I'm going to show in my video today, and if you're into that, you ought to watch him. But let's go back today to 1996 and the first video I ever did about apple production on the little farm I grew up on in southwest Missouri. Hope you enjoy it.
This orchard's been around a lot of years. Right there's my father. The original trees on this orchard were planted in 1921. It's 75 years ago. And Dad, the guy with his back to us, bought the place in 1940, which that's, 56 years ago. He's been doing this a long time. He's there with another guy that owns an apple orchard. They're looking over some of the crop. We're going to take you out to the orchard and show you how the apples are picked and bring them back in here and sort them and sell them. We're going to get a bin. This is what we pick our apples in, these apple bins here. And we're going to go out and pick some apples and bring them in and show you how they're sorted. Get the tractor started and an empty bin ready to be filled with apples. And off to the orchard we go. And I'm just going to run up here and jump on the tractor and ride to the orchard with Carmen and the girls. And off we go. This is the apple orchard. Those are our young trees right there. And we're coming up on the apples we're going to pick. Carmen is our driver. Say hi, Carmen. Okay, what we're going to show you now is how we pick apples in these, what we call picking sacks, and how they work. And what this is basically a bag that you put apples in. And you put these over your shoulder like so. And then this is a big tube here, see? You see it's open on the bottom. And we take these strings, and we pull it up here and put these strings in these hooks right here, and that makes kind of a sack. And then we go pick apples and put them in here. When we're done, take these strings off, let the apples down in the box. See, we just open up the bottom and let the apples out. Yeah, our bin's full. There's 17 bushels of apples in there. Time to go into the apple sorting shed.
Apple bin on the front and an apple bin on the back. This is a forklift that we use to move our bins around the shed. Mike's going to put them in the cooler, the big cooler right now. He's going to stack them up too high. And this little old forklift will be able to do a great job of lifting all that weight. All right, let's go see the cooler. apples that we've picked and we've saved them to sell. We had to pick them when they were ripe in the orchard, and then we keep them in this cool place so that we can sell them when the customers want them. We're going to load the apple bin that we want to sell here on the to customers on our bin dump. And it is time to sort the apples. We take out the best ones we can to sell to our customers. We have some that have hail marks and worms that like to eat them and things that we sort out of those. And also we have some really, really rotten ones that are fed to deer. We don't waste any apples at this orchard. There's something done with all of them.
And what we're going to do, we're going to sandwich that bin in with a hydraulic system here, and we're going to lift it up and tip all those 17 bushel out. And real gentle with the apples, and I'm going to show you how to do it. First, we turn the machine on. Now you can see the bin is coming up. And it's going to be pressed in there where it won't go anywhere. Tip it on up. Out comes apples. These red apples are called wine sap. They're a winter apple. They're real sour. The leaves fall out through these little holes right here. And we put them back on the land where they decompose. The apples come down to this little belt. I'm going to turn the machine on now. This is like a car wash for apples. See how the water comes down? And these are brushes here that roll them over and over and brush all sides of them. Now I'm going to turn it on so you can see. This brush washes the dust off of the apples. Any dirt there might be on them. So they're good and clean when people take them home. This is coming out of the brush. The apples roll out of the brush and they roll over and over on these sponges. And that tries to dry them off. They will move on over this belt. At this belt, the smaller apples will fall out automatically. And that's what we make the apple cider out of.
All right, this is the tray the apples, the smallest apples come down into. We'll see some come out, see? They fall through the holes and come out into this, onto this table. He's sorting the apples and taking out the ones that have any bad spots, any worms.
That is a hail mark right there. When a hailstorm comes in a young orchard, it hits these places on an apple and they quit growing. The rest of the apple grows around it. So the apple is damaged. It doesn't taste any different, but it's got a big bad spot on the side of it. We had a hailstorm this year.
In the springtime.
In the springtime, it hurt a lot of the apples. Now from here, you can see the apples go to another belt. The small ones fall out there. We sell those. Some people don't like big apples, and they'll buy these smaller apples. And now we're about full. We come around here to the final grading table. We'll look at the apples one more time. And then over here is where we open a chute. And very gently let the good apples down into an apple box.
What are the bad ones used for, Mike?
Well, we sell the bad ones at a lesser price. Some of these spots that you see on the bad ones are, like I said, just hail marks that can be cut out.
And
so,
some people use them to make apple butter and applesauce
that's right. That
and
right
pies.
There, cut that little piece out right there, and that's a good apple.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good apple.
That's a bad one right there.
Yes.
We'll put it right over here.
And
No, you got to put all the apples in gently, always gently.
And some of them, the small ones, we use for cider.
That's right.
To make cider. And we'll show you how that's done here in a little while.
Here's the final result. Our #1 quality Missouri-grown apples. Well, we said earlier we'd show you how apple cider is made, and it's made out of these smaller apples right here. And we grind that up into apple cider. Now let's go around to the cider room and we'll show you how that works. Whoa! Those crates there. Okay, let's try that again. Now we'll come around here to the cider press where they're making apple cider. Smaller apples go up that hopper into what is called a hammer mill. And that grinds the apples up into little bitty pieces. Here you can see the ground up apples. And they're put in this big cloth. Now the guys are folding the edges of the cloth over to make a pocket for those to go in. I'll take that frame out. Put on another plank with another cloth, and then we'll fill that up with apple plummage. There's another cloth going on. There's the plumbage. Okay, we're almost ready to press it. We'll spread the plumage out. And all that is right there is ground up apples. You can see the seeds in there. The seeds and any stems or anything like that go right on in. Dad, you want to tell them how you got started making apple cider?
Really? I hailstorm.
One year we had a hailstorm and it had to have something to do with the apples because hail's really hard on apples. We had a bunch of damaged apples, but there wasn't anything wrong with them. They just didn't look very good. So they ground them up into apple cider. And that was the start of it. Now he's pulling out a rope there. You see the handle going around. He'll hook that onto this little eye hook right here. Then they'll pull this down. And that hydraulic press will put about a ton of weight on that, and that'll mash that just as flat as it can be. This is the stuff over here, after you press the cider, that is left. We feed that to the cows, and they love it. Now here we go. Down comes the hydraulic press. Doesn't work too fast. You can see the cider starting to come out. Okay, you can see the cider dripping out and going down this stainless steel hopper into this plastic tank down here. How many gallons of cider do you get from a bushel of apples, Dad?
About 3.5.
That's my father again, who supervises the cider making process here. Okay, in a second we'll watch them pump it into the cooler. Here's the switch. You'll see the cider go up this hose from this pump right here, out the tank, through the pump, through the hose. It goes over the door. And then the final step in the process is where the apple cider is bottled and sold.
as we said earlier, we feed our apple plumage from the cider to the cows, and that's what Mike's doing right now. He's taking the plumage, that's all the seeds, and the skin and the pulp that has all the juice squeezed out of it. He's going to feed that to the cows right now, and the cows are just waiting patiently, and we'll let them come through the gate when he has all that on the ground. They would probably try to trample him if they were out right now.
Mom, there's some watching me.
Here they come. They love the taste of that. It's sweet.
Now sadly, my mom and dad both passed away in 2007, and we had to close the orchard. It was Dad's thing, it's not mine, and I feel bad about that. Any farm kid wants to keep their farm going. I'm just not a gifted orchardist. He was. I'd rather do YouTube videos, but a great place to learn how to work. But if you want to see a guy that's doing YouTube videos about orchard stuff and vegetable production too, check out Farmer Dre's channel right here. And here's a link to my website. Christmas is coming up. Great Christmas gifts on the Tractor Mike YouTube channel. And here's another video you might want to watch. Thanks for watching.